Hi guys, it's Kimberly here. Welcome back to the Twin Flame family, and thank you to the new subscribers who are joining us. I am going to give you your energy reading for this week, for the week of, it's May 28th. This is the week that'll extend through the beginning of June, and we are lots of messages for the feminine and the masculine this week, and for the collective as a whole. I'm going to kind of pull cards as we go and kind of use them as reinforcement through what my guides are saying. Just give the raw unscripted information. There's a lot of information to give to you for this week. It's really important information for Twin Flames. So if those of you who haven't signed up yet for the Divine Feminine Goddess Workshop, we'll be holding that on June 6th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's an hour-and-a-half long class. It's via video conference. There's a lot of, I think it's 2 hours. I'm sorry. I think I have it slated for 2 hours. There's a lot of material. It's really talking about how we transform our false masculine energy and, wounds into feminine power. And it gives you, we go through the tools, we explore the feminine archetypes. I have new information to give to you from some of the sacred feminine and divine energy connection guidance that I've stumbled upon recently. And that's all going to be incorporated into this 2-hour workshop. It's fun, it's interactive, and you'll be on the call with other like-minded feminine energy. So, a few spots left. Please go to my website, thetwinflamefamily.com. Click on Schedule a Session. You'll see all the private sessions. You can book readings or soul coaching sessions with me. And then if you want the workshop, just click on Group Services, and the Divine Feminine Workshop is right there. But don't miss out, because we only have about a week left to sign up, and there's just a limited amount of spots left. Okay, so on to the reading and energy update. So I'm going to start with the feminine. The Divine Feminine energy, as I said in last week's update, is coming into alignment with her values and coming into alignment with her power. And in this, what's happening is what has previously felt like ego resistance, the wanting to cut off our twin flame connection, why would I let someone treat me like this, that type of resistance. She's actually relaxed into that now and kind of has processed it from a different place, in a higher place, and is now sort of in this place of, it's not ego saying, no, I'm not going to do this. It's her inner knowing, her true voice, her true self saying, it's not about not doing this or pushing it away. It's just really about me picking myself up and putting myself in alignment for what does vibrate with me right now. She's really aware of her own awakening right now, and she just needs to step a little further into the trust of it, because it's that awakening that's going to be like the light bulb moment where you're going to be like, oh, well, this isn't really about pushing that away. This is just about saying like, oh, I'm just going to go over here and line up with my mission. I'm just going to go line up with the things that do serve me well, that do make me feel good. And that comes from anything. Like, this could be like things that you previously resisted, whether it's blocking your twin flame, or trying not to have contact, or doing the dance in an abusive or a narcissistic relationship, or like any of the ways that where our ego is too turned up, or we're kind of leading with it, I should say, or where we're just not listening to our true selves or lining up with our true morals and values. So all of that is coming into a better balance right now. And I feel like as we go into June 1, that transition into June, we are actually going to strike more balance than we have in the past few months. It's going to feel like clarity, more for the feminine especially. It's going to, for the feminine on her own, because the masculine's in a different place. So for the feminine, she's going to get more balance, more clarity. And I think that will happen to the masculine at some level too. It's just going to show up in a different way. For the feminine, it's very much about aligning with herself, okay? For the masculine, he's kind of just caught in his own BS still. It's still that believing the bullshit or believing what his ego is telling him. And like, it's the ego that is really sucking him in right now. So if you're seeing wounds come up or just old patterns resurface or old behaviors resurface or coming through in such a way that they're like, at such a high magnitude, you're like, whoa, what the heck is going on? It's because the masculine, as I said in the last reading, is kind of going like this till he hits his truth. And that truth, whatever that is, whenever he sees it, and I feel like I keep saying, it's got to be midsummer by that point, it's going to send him back up in a new way, in a way that will cause him to actually be on an awakening path. So we may have thought, and certainly our twins have awakened bits and pieces, and as we've been doing our work, they're coming into knowing as well. But it's very disheartening to know that and then see the twin spiral down. And you're like, oh my God, he never woke up. He is still caught in all his yuck, and I'm finding my way. And what am I still doing here? Right? And that's your ego going, why am I still here? And when we put the ego away, we go, okay, I love him or I love her. I'm allowing her or him to do as they need to. And then you go back into, I am going to just focus on myself and love myself and walk in alignment with everything that is calling to me, and everything that is in alignment for me is going to show up for me. And if you can get in the love of that, especially for the feminine, what the masculine's doing, he's going to be able to do on his own. And let me tell you, he needs the space right now. Many of the twin flames just got married, are just having babies, or are just like shacking up with their karmic relationships, or they just want out of the physical relationship with their feminine twin flame, because it's hot. The heat is on. They're saying the heat is on for them. The heat is it's too hot for the masculine twin right now. And so, but what's happening is that on all of these levels, whether he is having a baby or whether he is just got married or is about to get married to the karmic relationship, or whether you feel like, oh my God, this is the end of everything, and whether he is just leaving and saying, I don't want to do this, I need to be on my own, or I've got other women to date, or you cramp my style and I can't do this right now. It's, again, like I said, it's disheartening, because I think we saw forward progress with the masculine. We've seen glimmers of awakening. And then when this stuff happens, it's like, it feels like the rug being pulled out from underneath you, but it's not. That is an illusion. So remember that what's happening is it's an opportunity for you to just keep going for the feminine. Just keep going on your path, your mission, your healing, going further into it, getting more into your feminine power, getting more into the trust and knowing. And then just going like, this wasn't an alignment for me right now. It's not an alignment for me. So I'm making peace with this. And I also understand that the karmic relationship, the freedom, the baby or whatever karmically may have transpired, that's keeping him there or that's pulling him away, those things right now are huge portal. Like, they're going to serve as portals for them, the lessons that they learn here. And I feel like for a number of us, me too, it's those three things. It's like baby, I'm hearing it across the board. Baby, marriage, or just non-committal BS. I want to be on my own. I want my freedom. And if you guys watch, or please join my Facebook page. It's the Twin Flame Family. It's facebook.com/the Twin Flame Family. And I posted a video from Rasa Lila Healing, and he is an astrologer, and I love his moon updates and forecasts, as well as all of his other teachings. He's amazing. You got to subscribe to the channel. But watch what he says about June and the new moon. And, you know, he's not speaking specifically to twin flames, but it's really interesting how I felt like he had such a grasp on what's going on in the twin flame dynamic, because so many of the twins, and I think just collective as a whole, just the society and the world, the souls on this earth right now, where feminine power is rising up. And it's like, I feel like the heat is on for the masculine, okay? He feels powerless in many ways, and it's through going deeper into the ego that he's able to maintain the power, but it's not real power. It's showing up as manipulation, avoidance, passivity, or if it's like, it could be so many different things, rebellion and like all that stuff. But he is going to, through these karmic lessons, recognize and awaken to his truth, and starting to realize that his power is not all this ego BS, and it's actually through touching base with his heart. And I feel like what's happening right now is you're getting like an actor. You're getting someone who's putting on an act, someone who's not living in their authentic voice. And we're looking at it and we're like, oh my God, how can it be done forever? And why is it ending? And how can they go and marry that person? Or how can they be having that affair? Or how can they be having that baby? And it's just over forever. And I'm telling you guys, it's not what it looks like. That's a layer that's going to, it's a mask that's coming off. It's a layer that's going to be shed. And fortunately or unfortunately, you gotta just let them do it and just allow it, and send love and wish them well, because they're going to keep running up against themselves, and the growth and the maturation and the awakening and the aha moments are going to spark for them in a couple months. It's just going to be like a light bulb of, I'm not living my truth. And it's because not only we're living more authentically in our truth, and keep doing that, because it does affect what happens for the masculine twin. It does. You might not be able to see it, touch it, feel it, and you guys might be on different timelines. But the more truthful you get with yourself, your twin is going to get there too. So you have to have faith. You have to have faith without attachment. It's all about knowing that it's going to work out, knowing that it's not over forever, knowing that this connection transcends space and time, knowing that it's all in divine order, knowing that you are in the perfect place for your journey, for the unfolding, and everything is working out for you. Everything. Even though it may feel like disaster or rugs, pulled out from underneath us, it's not. That's an illusion. That's our fears. Those are our worst fears coming up and going, see, this is what you wanted. This is what, this is what you were thinking all along. Now it's happening. And we're like, oh my God, it's happening. But it's happening so we can heal that wound further. And it's, for many of the feminine, I feel like you've done a lot of the wound healing. If it's still there, we got to go in a little bit deeper, recall the memories, understand what beliefs we've carried forward, and start to reprogram those beliefs. And as we find new beliefs and step into our true feminine power, that's where all the change occurs, especially in the surrendering of the situation and the allowing just everything to unfold in perfect timing, all of that. But masculine is having an awakening, and I'm going to pull a card for this. And yeah, he is coming into his feminine energy. And it's interesting because I've got High Priestess coming up. in between the twins, and I had pulled the Queen of Wands for the feminine, which is all about her stepping into her femininity, and embracing her strength and embracing her passions, you know, like her setting her passions on fire, setting her mission, you know, really getting on that now, as well as embracing her like spiritual powers. And the High Priestess card's coming up for the 2. And the reason why it's coming up for the 2 is because the masculine is really figuring out that the power is not through the sword, which I could say is like the penis, the ego, whatever you want to say. Like, it's just not. That's something that's here to protect us. It's keeping out the fear. It's the Knight card that always shows up for the Divine Feminine in my knighthood in the readings. It's the heart armor. It's the I'm not being truthful with myself. I'm not speaking my truth. I'm not living my truth. I'm having trouble accessing the love here because I am in fear. I am in rebellion. I am in denial. I am in I am in the not so truthful place. And I tell you, it's not like we can go for years like this, and the masculine can go for years like this, but it's going to come to a head, and it's because he's actually like many of the masculine are like taking that path down because the feminine power is insurging in to push them back up. And this isn't just about them coming into their like divine knowing and truth. This is also about them really balancing their masculinity and what that really means. It's not having the sword in your hand. It's not. And so it's showing me that for the masculine, it's the King of Swords, and it's this card here, which we always see around the twins. The Eight of Swords, especially in reverse, it's just like, what are we being bound to that's holding us back? And for the masculine, it's old beliefs. I feel like it's about getting into a place of real strength, real wisdom, real inner knowing, real authenticity, and not the place where we're reacting from our ego. The masculine is awakening, and in a way that is going to help him get balance. You're going to see turning points, and you're going to see them like by mid-July, and then he'll start to take action for towards the truth going into the eclipse season in August. Okay, so sit tight, feminine, and don't put your life on hold, and don't put things on hold, but just keep moving forward and know that this crap that is on the surface, the leaving, the denial, the pushing you away, the resistance, the just making what seem like life-locked decisions, right, where they're going to be held into something forever. It's an illusion, okay? These are actually learning and growth experiences and transformation for the masculine. It's coming rapidly. It's coming quickly. It's going to show up soon, and it's part of the reason why all of this is happening on the surface. And I know from my private sessions, and I know from my personal relationship, and I know from the comments that I get on YouTube that this is across the board right now. Where is the feminine struggling, like beyond this feels definitive, and I'm going, no, it's not linear. You're both expanding. Timelines are not fixed. They're not fixed right now. Timelines are changing, and paths are interconnecting, and things are opening and opening and opening. So even though it feels like you're on this road and you've just gone this way and he's gone that way, that's an illusion. The separation is an illusion. And your soul connection it's really intact. It's really there. And the more you believe in it, that truth that you believe and have faith in is what's going to glimmer through for the masculine when he has his awakening. So it's vital that you keep the faith. It's vital that you do so without attachment to the 3D outcome, the 3D timeline, the when, the how. And it's vital that you do this, because it's almost as if what the guides are saying, what they're telling me, I'm going to pull a card for this, is that they're saying, yeah, it's positive change. The positive change is coming. All right. And I wholeheartedly believe that. And what they're saying is, it's almost you believe, your divine feminine, it's your belief in the positive change without having to know exactly what that looks like, or exactly when that's going to happen, or how it's going to happen. It's just believing. It's just going, I have faith. And it's not just about you going to isolate for the feminine. It's not about you going to isolate yourself on your journey. The journey of coming to know self is actually prepping you for bigger love with everyone, bigger love with the world, better relationships with everyone, your family, your friends, new friendships. It's setting you up for the type of love you deserve and have been desiring. And it's also the little piece, the little spark that's going to beam over to the masculine in the 5D, and it's going to glimmer through when he kind of hits his low, or, you know, gets to the place where he's ready to recognize the truth. Yep. And they're saying meditate. Okay. This is one thing. When I went to the Abraham Hicks workshop, and I mean, I've watched and listened to all of those teachings for years and read the books, and so many of the same messages come up, but just at the, you know, the time that you need to hear them, or in a different way that they're being said or spoken to, you know, and the way you're hearing them. But this time around, when I saw her in person, and the biggest message that she kept saying was this meditation, was starting with this meditation, starting your day with. And it doesn't have to be still meditation. It can be the walk in nature. It can be, you know, just the thing that makes you feel joyful or feeds your soul, where you're not in your left brain. And they're saying that meditation. And also for the masculine, they're saying the masculine needs quiet time, because there's been a lot of stuff, you know, conversations back and forth, struggle, riffraff. He's been in some instances caught between two worlds, and he couldn't take the pressure of that, or caught between two relationships, couldn't take the pressure of that. So if he's pulling away, it's because they're saying he needs quiet time. He needs peaceful time. That is actually where your, you know, faith and the glimmers are, he'll catch it. He's going to catch it. It's going to spark in him too. So trust in that. And also trust in the spiritual law of attraction. Melchizedek is coming up, and he's saying this is all about what's in alignment for you at this time, especially as the masculine needs to go off and have his quiet time, or needs to go off in that other relationship, or needs to go off and have the baby, or needs to go off and live on his own, or needs to go off and be single, or do that for a while. Let that happen, and know that whatever during that time is in alignment for him, that's going to show up for him. That's going to help, again, further his awakening, further his journey. And for the feminine, they're saying, oh, wow, as you come into your power, a whole new world's waiting for you. And we're talking about possibly other relationships that are coming in for you too, to line up with you, to make you feel good, to reflect back to you how far you've come, how much your wounds have been healed. Whereas for the masculine, I feel like it's more lessons. And for the feminine, I feel like it's like, wow, more higher vibe people, more, this is great. And then it's going to pull in more of that, and more of that, and more of what you desire. And that's amazing. Okay. So yeah. And behind the feminine, or underneath, actually both of the twins, is the star card. But I feel like for the feminine, this is about abundance, things flowing, and her going with the flow. For the masculine, I feel like this is very much about, as he comes into his truth, like the world is going to look different for him in a much better way, in a much more organic way, where he's connected to, I think, the heavens and the earth, and he's more grounded, he's more clear. He needs the clarity right now, and things are, like I said, the heat is on, it's hot, it's pressured, it's, there's a lot, and he's getting pressure too from his karmic relationships. A lot of that pressure is just like, they're in pressure cookers right now. So when you're like, oh, he doesn't want to deal with me, or what, or, you know, or he forgot about me, it's not. He's in a pressure cooker, and he's supposed to be there, because it's, like I said, it's all like bringing that pressure to a head so that it can go and transmute into something else and something healthier. And for those of us, including myself, who have twin flames who are caught in narcissistic behavior or addictive behaviors, substance abuse, come the midpoint of the summer, I feel like they will also be reaching some sort of a clarity with that, in terms of taking responsibility, either, you know, wanting to seek help, or just wanting to be a better man. I feel like that's it. Like, I don't think like therapy or AA or you know, support groups are going to be like the top of his mind in any way. But I think he's going to have the occurrence of like, I want to be a better man. He's going to have that clarity that's going to come through, and that is going to spark him to take action towards that truth, action towards cleaning some stuff up for himself, action towards looking in the mirror at himself, action towards aligning with how he wants to be treated and how he should be treating the feminine. And like I said, come August, things are going to shift for many twins. So I'm going to leave you with that for this week. I don't want to keep this too long. If you have any questions, please write to me. I'm also going to do another Q&A answer session sometime this week, because we've got several more questions that streamed in, and I love your questions. Keep sending them. Anything about the twin flame journey that you have a question with, email it over to me, and I'll talk to you guys soon, okay? Take care. Have a great week. Bye-bye.